Hey, it's Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews. Welcome to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews, and today it's kind of special for me because I'm celebrating 6 years of doing beer reviews on YouTube. My first beer review was January 16th of 2010, and now it's January 16th, 2016, and I'm looking at a beer from 2010. What do you think of that? This is Redhook, and this is the Redhook Treblehook Barleywine. And that came out in 2010 with an alcohol by volume of 10.1% ABV. This has been sitting in my cellar all this time. I've been trying to figure out a good time to open it. You know, it's something, for whatever reason, I felt like saving this one. Because I believe this is the last time they ever made it. Even though if you read on the side of this label, it says this particular barley wine was the gold medalist at the 2008 Great American Beer Festival. So this one is 6 years old now, basically, and you know, barley wines, they say, age well. So I guess we're going to find out for sure, because this is the longest I've aged a beer. I mean, there are people out there who may have aged beers for 10 or more years, but for me, this is the longest I've aged a beer. And in my cellar, it usually stays about between 50 to 60 degrees all year round, even on a hot day. It's usually fairly consistent, so it should be in pretty good shape. So I am going to open it with this Redhook opener. I don't like these little tiny plastic openers. They take forever sometimes to open, but I figured I'd use it just for the occasion. And there's the Redhook. You can see the cap on that. So, looking forward to checking this out. I got my cell phone because I'm going to take a picture of this after I pour it out. So let's give this a pour, open it, and pour it out. I'm just nervous about it. It's just that, you know, it's been sitting there all this time. I'm trying to think of a good point when I could open it, because I want to celebrate something with it, and I said, well, why not the 6th anniversary? And it is does have a brewery in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which I've been to, and I can already pick up some really fruity aroma coming off that without even pouring it into the glass yet. So I'm going to pour it into the glass. This is a white birch glass, and those of you who watch my reviews regularly know that I do a lot of white birch beers on my channel, and I'm probably the first of all the beer tubers whoever featured a white birch brew when the brewery itself opened. So getting a nice pour, and if you give me a second, I do kind of want to keep this, you know, keep this in posterity. So let me take a picture of this beer pour, because those of you who look at my Facebook page and others, you will see I sometimes post the pictures of the beers I'm trying there. So let me do that. Give me 1 second to do that. Let me see if that. Okay, I'm going to take another one just to be on the safe side. I want to make sure I get this, because once I drink this, it's gone. So I'll bring it down a little bit. We'll see which one of these pictures I use. But anyway, good. Okay, back to business here. You can see the way it poured. The head is sort of retaining a little bit. I did a slow pour on this, but the color on this is sort of like a amber red. Really more of an amber red color, still hazy after all this time. And you can see the bit of lacing still collecting on the side, and it's fading down a bit. This is a head that wasn't a real heady beer when I poured it, but it does seem to be retaining at least into a ring, so that's good. Check out these aromas. The malt character is still there, and there's a really fruity character going on here. It's like grape or apple, or I mean, I had this back in the day when it first came out, and for whatever reason I checked back my archives and I did not review this one on my channel. So I thought I had, but I looked back and no, I didn't. So this is technically, this is my first review of this beer, at least on video. I think I put some posts on Rate Beer, Beer Advocate, other places like that. There's almost kind of a very, the fruity character is really kind of strong, kind of in the grape range, and there's a really melted caramel malt character. It's not really abundant, but it's like a melted malt. It's a sweetness going on, and the barley type character that accompanies barley wines often is not quite as powerful. The booze has definitely died down. It's 10.1%, so the booze has definitely died down on this, at least the booze aroma. But the caramel is like a melted. It almost feels like it's been sitting on in a pot and melting away and just kind of, you know, filling the air with caramel aromas and fruit aromas. Just really interesting, very interesting for a 6-year-old beer. So let's check out the taste on this one. Oh, the alcohol's gone. I mean, if you like barley wines with alcohol, you might not want to age it for 6 years, but you're not getting that. I remember originally when I drank this, I did pick up a bit of an alcohol bite. It did have a bit of a boozy character, but that boozy character is gone and more in favor of a fruity type character. They use a lot of hops in this particular beer. I mean, they put an abundance of caramels when they brewed it. At least that's what they used to say back in the day. They put a lot of, it was like an aggressive malt recipe, but they also had kind of an aggressive hop recipe to try to equal it out at the time. The body still has a sort of a medium range. It's very smooth. It's really kind of almost creamy to some extent, but it's smooth and soft. It's not biting. It doesn't stick on the back of my throat or on my tongue or anything like that. It just kind of sits there and dissolves and just feels kind of relaxing on my palate. The taste, I mean, barley wines, if you let them age, they're that really super sweet kind of barley malt character will fade, and I've noticed that here. Some people I like fresh barley wines. I like them when they have that real caramel and toffee and malty bite that just sort of overtakes the whole sensation. But this one's mellowed so much, but it still has a very interesting character. It's not a malt bomb by any extent of the imagination. It's not overabundant in the hops either. So it's still, after all this time, in my 50 to 60 degree cellar, it's held up pretty well, I'd say. Wow. I mean, this is the bitterness. There's no bitterness at the end now. Maybe very mild. It's a slight mild bitterness at the end, but it's not hanging on. It's not lingering or anything like that. Everything about this speaks fruity. I'm getting fruity and like melted caramel on the nose, in the flavor. Not super sweet, but there's also, actually, when you think about it, there's still a bit of a spicy character. I really hadn't talked about that, but I'm starting to notice it more after my 4th or 5th sip, that there's a slight spicy bite going on here. Not pepper. Maybe more to the something to the perhaps the coriander side or something like that. But there is a bit of a spice. I don't want to say it's a peppery spice, but I'm picking up this herbal quality. Maybe rosemary might be one word. It's got something that's herbal about it, as well as the caramel and the fruit character. Rosemary, perhaps. Maybe a bit of a sage character. One of those very powerful type herbs that really put out a lot of aroma and really spice up your meals. I use them all the time when I cook my meals. I'm actually pretty excited about this, because I've been a big fan of craft beer for so many years. Coming up on 30 years soon. I'm coming up on my 29th year of being a craft beer fan, basically, this year. And, and aging beer has been one of those things that a lot of people who like craft beer do. A lot of people are much better at it than I am. But this is the only one I've aged as long as I've aged. And part of the reason I did that, because at the time I bought this, I remember going to the Redhook Brewery in 2010, and I was speaking to someone there. I don't know if he was the Portsmouth brewer, the one who brews it at the Portsmouth Brewery, but he really knew the beer. He really knew the process. He really knew all about the various characteristics of the beer, but he wasn't waiting on the table. So I don't remember his name. I remember he had facial hair, if that tells you anything, those who went to Redhook back in 2010, and he was a little older than me. But I don't remember his name. But anyway, I remember him telling me a story at the time, this is 2010, that he said, I opened up a 2003 or 2004 Treblehook, and I really liked it. I remember him saying that at the time, and that's kind of what made me think I should try to age this one for a long, long time to see if I pick up the same kind of sensations that he did at that time, because he seemed really excited about the fact that he had opened a 6 or so year old, 7 or so year old Treblehook that he had kept in his cellar all that time. And this really has aged well, but it really tends to be more on the fruity side. That's what you're getting more of it's almost like in some respects kind of a tart, sour, fruity character in some respects too. with that melted malt thing going on. I mean, it's aged well. So I'm quite pleased that I was able to share this one with you. I've been wanting to open this one. I kind of look at it every once in a while and say, is this the time to open it, or do I want to wait? Is this the time to open it, or do I want to wait? So I figured, well, I might as well celebrate one of my anniversaries, my anniversary on YouTube, by opening this barley wine. So, and I'm glad I did. So, the Brewers Series Treblehook Barleywine Ale 2010. And that's it for today. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all your support over the years. I really appreciate the fact that you watch my videos. And those of you who are on my Facebook page, I really appreciate that too. And I'm going to try to keep giving some beer reviews to you throughout 2016 as I move on to my 7th year here soon. So thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.